This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Mike Irwin's with us on the McClarty Daniel hotline, of course, from Pig Trail Nation. Mike, lots of phone calls over the first hour and 15 minutes or so. It seems that fans, or at least our callers, have kind of let go of anger, and some of them are kind of transitioning to off-season sadness.
Defeat. Yeah.
Defeat. That's what I'm hearing from fans today.
Yeah, fans that actually talk to you over the phone are a little bit different from those on the internet. There's a lot of anger out there. I think the whole focus right now is this OC hire. And then there are these exit meetings today that start with players, and there's all kinds of speculation that Cody Kennedy's going to be out. Some websites are reporting that he is, and there's no evidence of that yet. I don't know if that'll happen or not. Last night I was hearing a lot about Brennan Marion, who's UNLV's offensive coordinator, and I posted there's only a handful of guys, maybe one or two, that Pittman might be able to bring in here as offensive coordinator that would really get these people that are mad kind of back on board. You need something that'll give people something to think about. And this guy's offense is so different. And if you go on the internet and look at some of the principles of it and what he's done, he's just very innovative. It operates out of the shotgun. It's kind of called a wishbone spread or something, where you can run triple option reads out of it, but also throw. And it's very interesting, very different. And from a media standpoint, a guy like that would be fun to cover, because there would be all these stories about, tell me about this. Well, how does that work? So if you got somebody like that, I think it would help. The problem with this guy is he's apparently got everybody looking at him now. So he may end up as a head coach. I'm not sure they can get him. There was a report just a while ago that Buster Faulkner, the Georgia Tech offensive coordinator that had ties to Georgia, and some were thinking, okay, that's where Pittman is looking, that he had told them he's not interested. So I don't know where this thing is headed. Pittman himself said he thought it would be done by Wednesday, so we'll see. But that's the big thing hanging out there. And then whether or not Kennedy is retained, that is another story today.
Micah, with the transfer portal opening up December 4th, you don't fault these kids. Don't you think that most of these kids should put their name in the transfer portal just to see what's out there? What are your thoughts on that starting up? Because it's going to be the wild, wild west.
Sure, if that's what they want to do. I mean, that's what's available. Guys, I'll be very blunt, and I put it out here this way because it's what I believe. When you put on a uniform, I don't care what school we're talking about, when you put on that uniform and you walk out on the field in front of the home fans, you need to know that that uniform was worn by other people before you, and it will be worn by other people after you, and those people in the stands love you not because they know you, but because they love that tradition of that uniform. And if you go out and lay an egg in front of the fans constantly, you don't have that. Somebody didn't teach you that. I was just on the phone with somebody earlier today, and I got to say it. He said Houston Nutt never let that happen. They always knew what the helmet was about, and you have to be able to do that. And that's what's missing right now. So if there are guys that don't feel that connection, why would you be surprised that they would go somewhere else?
It's a matter of what's the identity of what your program is. You know, in my mind, I always view Arkansas, and I think throughout the decades it's been like this. Hard-nosed, physical team, might at times play better than the talent level.
Effort, not this lack of effort. You're going to have passion. That's right.
A line of scrimmage team, too. And that's what I feel like Sam Pittman was brought in to build, right? And I think we might have seen that the last couple of years, but man, they got dominated on the line of scrimmage this year. And truthfully, like, we can say this and that about the defense improving, but they still were 13th in the league in defensive scoring, 10th in the league in rush defense. And when you look at the last two games against SEC teams, the defense was not able to stop Auburn or Missouri at the line of scrimmage. It just burst right through. So I don't know what the identity is of the team right now. And I don't know if recruits would know what that is yet.
Well, again, the thing that's being sold is that rather than pay this buyout, which I'm not sure they had anyway, I don't think there were enough boosters willing to contribute that to do that. But what they were willing to do, according to what I was told, was contribute more money for NIL stuff. Okay, NIL helps. I don't live in the past. I'm smart enough to know that this is the world we live in. So you can go out and maybe buy enough guys to put better players on the field. But you still, even with NIL, they still have to come in here and embrace what all of that means. And if you can't do that, if you can't convince players, look up in the stands. Those guys love that hog, and you have to love that hog, which means you have to have a connection. Guys, somewhere out there is the oldest football letterman. I don't know who he is, but you can go all the way back from that guy and come forward to whoever's about to sign in 3 weeks, and all of those people are part of a family. And you can't disrespect that family or you don't belong here.
Well, there's truth to that. I mean, I want to ask about the offensive coordinator hire here. I know you brought up what is the gentleman's name? Brennan Marion might be one of the hottest young offensive coordinators in the country. There's going to be an incredible amount of pressure on this offensive coordinator, and it's different than last year where nobody would have been worried about keeping the coaching staff together or that is the head coach going to be my boss moving forward. That's why Dan Eno's got a 2-year contract. The next offensive coordinator is going to be viewed as, well, this is the person that's going to save things. Really, there's so much pressure on whoever it is. Any offensive coordinator has to welcome that. But I just wonder, would that also, will they view the Arkansas job with trepidation because this could be Sam's last year?
Yeah, maybe. The thing that I was hearing about Marion last night was, if you look at his career, and he's not young, but he's in his 30s, but he's never stayed anywhere more than a year. He keeps moving, and he likes to go to places that have issues and then fix it. And so that's the only reason that makes me think he might consider this job, because it's a fix job. Every time this is silly, but I've got a nephew in New Mexico who's a high school football coach, and he takes jobs where schools have struggled because he wants to go in there and fix it. That's just something he likes. So if this guy would look at Arkansas and go, yeah, that's a fix-it place. Now, he probably wouldn't stay very long, but all he'd have to do is come in and fix it, and then things would be better. But I'm probably dreaming. He has so many offers. I can't see him coming here, but I haven't heard that he's out yet today either. I did hear that the Georgia Tech guy is out, that he had told him, that he was not interested. So, and then that's being reported on a website. So, I don't know where we're headed. I'm talking to somebody else in the media that thinks Holgerson's in the mix just because he's a former head coach, and a lot of people believe Pittman needs some former head coach in there like he had with Barry Odom to help him. I don't think Sam's walking around saying that to himself. That's stuff other people are saying.
Mike, one football question that's on the field football question. Had a great football week last week. I mean, just some absolute great games. Who is your Final Four? Give me your Final Four now with the championship Saturday is set up now.
Oh, man, I watched Georgia and Alabama, and they struggle in games, but they both keep winning, and I just have this feeling that Alabama's going to beat them this year, and I think that would get them in. Michigan's got to be in. I don't know, guys.
Yeah, Oregon-Washington, Mike, seems the only one that's an actual real play-in game. Like the winner of the Oregon-Washington game gets in. You can't say if Iowa beats Michigan that Iowa would be in, but that Oregon-Washington game seems to be the one.
Look, I also feel, Mike, if Texas beats Oklahoma State and Alabama wins the SEC championship game, Texas has to be in. You can't put Alabama in and not Texas. Yeah. You can't do that.
And the nightmare for the SEC would be if whoever wins that championship game didn't get in. They probably would, but who knows? I mean, Alabama's got that loss, and they've struggled at times. So if you're Greg Sankey, you probably want Georgia to win that game, so you're guaranteed somebody in the championship. Guys, this all goes away next year. I can't wait. I hate this 4-team thing. Make it bigger. If it was up to me, I'd make it 16 teams, 32 teams. I love playoffs, just like high school, but this is thankfully the last year we have to sit here and worry about this scrunched up playoff where we have to sit here and get a headache trying to figure out who's going to be in it.
Why is Michigan the best team? I think when I watch them against Ohio State, that is a physical team. Got a quarterback who makes plays. He's accurate. 2 really good running backs. A stout defense. And I know maybe they didn't really play much up until Penn State and then Ohio State. But what I watched there, I think might have been the best team right now. And I wouldn't be surprised when the rankings come out tomorrow. Even though Georgia's still undefeated and everything, I would not be surprised if Michigan overtakes them to be number 1 going into the playoff, or really going into the championship games.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I understand everything you're saying, and if you're an SEC guy, you don't want to see that happen, but you can't be stupid about it. This is just, for whatever reason, this year started off very non-SEC like. You just had all these weird games, and you're going, what's going on here? And Alabama looked really bad for a while, and then they got better, but they only had the 1 loss. And then Georgia's had these games where you thought, what are they doing? They lose focus. What's happening here? So we'll see. Again, I think there might be a possibility if Alabama beat Georgia that Alabama doesn't get in, and that would be a disaster for the SEC.
Oh, I know. I wonder how much they look at that Auburn-Alabama game, because Auburn very easily could have won that game.
Oh, one guy went to sleep, and that's it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.